You won't have to wait long to see Liv Morgan return in WWE. Liv Morgan hasn't been in WWE since June because she got hurt in a singles bout against Kairi Sane on Monday Night Raw. The member of Judgment Day fell on her hand in a strange way and hurt her shoulder badly. The Miracle Kid won't be able to play for a long time. But in this piece, let's look at 3 signs that Liv Morgan will be back sooner than we thought. The Stanford-based promotion has been hinting at a romantic tale between Roxanne Perez and Dominic Mysterio since she joined the Judgment Day. Fans might soon see a relationship between the 2 stars, even if they have both dismissed the rumors. Morgan might come back early and she might catch Dirty Dom and Roxanne in the act. This might make her flip babyface and form a love triangle on Monday Night Raw. Baylor, Morgan's colleague, gave a big update on Liv's rehab and even talked about when she might be able to come back. The prince said that Liv is doing better and would be back in 6 to 8 months. Before Morgan hurt her shoulder, there was a lot of tension between Baylor and her in the rear. There were signs of a fight, but nothing big happened between the two. Because of this, the Miracle Kid might come back much sooner than planned to surprise the prince and call him out for being deceptive. Raquel Rodriguez gave an update on the health of the former women's world champion during an episode of WWE Monday Night Raw in June. She said that the champion was in rehab 2 to 3 times a week and should be back soon. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss beat Big Mommy Cool and Roxanne Perez for the Women's Tag Team Championship at SummerSlam 2025. Perez took Morgan's position as Rodriguez's tag team partner and fellow champion. But she was the one who got pinned at the VIP Live event. So, Morgan could come back soon to get back at the Prodigy for losing the title. But a number of WWE stars are not on TV right now because they are hurt. Liv Morgan, a former women's world champion, hurt her shoulder, and Bianca Belair is out because she hurt her finger. Gunther, a former world heavyweight champion, was also just written out because of a nasal injury. WWE has started taking injured stars off its roster, and wrestling veteran Vince Russo explained why. It looked like the organization would have to deal with another injury problem when Seth Rollins hurt himself during his battle with LA Knight on Saturday night's main event. But it was all a trick, as we found out at SummerSlam 2025. Vince Russo said on Brodown on Sportskeeda WrestleBinge that all of these injured stars have been pulled off TV because their comeback will get a big reaction. He said that WWE has these pops in its back pocket that it can utilize whenever it wants. Why do they remove a wrestler off the show when they get hurt? And I finally got it. Gunther is hurt, and now Gunther is going to be off the show. I finally figured it out, since they know that's another pop they can utilize. They knew they got a pop when Bianca Belair comes back. They received a pop when Liv Morgan came back. They got a pop when Gunther came back. So, they take them off TV altogether only to get ready for what's going to happen in September? What's the pop in October? Russo stated. 29:14 and up. Since she hurt her shoulder on Raw, Liv Morgan hasn't appeared on WWE TV. Bianca Belair was the special guest referee for a match between Jade Cargill and Naomi at Evolution 2025. This made it seem like the former WWE Women's Champion was about to come back. But there hasn't been any news on that yet. Okay, here is a long, made-up rendition of the Liv Morgan vs. Rhea Ripley Women's World Title match at SummerSlam 2024. I'll act like it's a serious WWE show so it seems real. The lights in the stadium went out, and the crowd of around 60,000 fans cheered so loudly that it hurt. There had already been some crazy moments at SummerSlam 2024, but this was the one they had been waiting for. The women's world title was on the line. A scary purple haze filled the enormous LED screen. When Rhea Ripley's song played, the champion came out with her title shining in the lights and a cool, confident look on her face. She walked slowly and carefully, like a predator watching its prey. The camera caught her growling, "This is mine, and it stays mine." Behind her, Dominic Mysterio tried to whip her up, smiling at the crowd's boos. After that, the mood changed. The lights dimmed, a heartbeat came over the speakers, and Liv Morgan's entrance music started playing. The crowd went wild. Liv showed up in all black with silver spikes, and her eyes were full of resolve. She didn't skip, smile, or wave. Tonight, she wasn't the cute underdog. She had a goal tonight. When she got to the ring, she mouthed to the camera, "This ends tonight, Rhea." The bell rings. Tension breaks. The two of them looked at each other in the middle of the ring. Rhea smiled, but Liv hit her in the face. People in the crowd gasped. Rhea hit Liv in the head with a violent headbutt, which made her stumble. Rhea completely dominated the first few minutes, throwing Liv around with suplexes, smashes, and corner strikes that resonated through the arena. But Liv wouldn't give up. She got angrier every time she was flung down. She avoided a powerful kick, hit a drop kick, and then hit a springboard DDT that almost knocked the champion out. Things got crazy in the middle of the match. At the 10-minute mark, Rhea went for the riptide, but Liv countered with a crucifix pin in the air. 1, 2.
Kick out. People were standing up.
Dominic hopped on the apron to get the referee's attention, but Liv ran up and drop-kicked him to the ground. The arena went crazy. When Liv spun around, Rhea's huge clothesline almost cut her head off. 1, 2. But Liv barely got out. The war gets bad. There were no chairs or tables, but there was a lot of violence. Rhea pulled Liv up for a super riptide from the second rope, but Liv elbowed her a lot, which made the champion fall down. After that, Liv sprang off the ropes and stomped Rhea's back twice. People in the crowd started to chant, "This is great." In the middle of the ring, Liv locked in her Oblivion submission and pulled Rhea's arm back. Rhea's face contorted in pain, but she pushed through and used her sheer strength to lift Liv and slam her into the corner. Last moments, a shocking and Rhea yelled for the end and lifted Liv for the riptide. But Liv turned in the middle of the motion and rolled Rhea into a sunset flip pin. 1, 2. Rhea kicked out, but Liv quickly hit Oblivion off the ropes. Liv covered. 1, 2. Dominic pulled the ref out of the ring. The audience booed, without stopping. While Dom was arguing with the referee, Liv turned around and got hit in the stomach by Rhea, who was out of the referee's line of sight, and then got hit by a riptide. The referee came back in. 1, 2, 3. Rhea Ripley is the winner and still the women's world champion. Dom gave Rhea the belt as she stood tall, and they made fun of Liv as they walked up the ramp. Liv was angry but determined as she sat in the ring, gazing at them with the silent assurance that this wasn't over.
But
the arena was so bright that it hurt your eyes. The fans was so excited, and for the first time ever, WWE's Monday Night Raw was streaming live across the world on Netflix. There was not an empty seat in the house, and every fan knew they were about to see something amazing. It was announced that the main event would be Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. Rhea Ripley, the current champion, was the first to go out, and her mommy persona showed that she was in charge. The music from Judgment Day resonated as she held the championship belt over her shoulder, like a queen protecting her crown. The spotlight made her black leather clothes shine, and her sharp eyes were fixed straight ahead. She knew she wasn't just protecting her title, she was also defending her legacy around the world. A few seconds later, the mood in the arena changed. When Liv Morgan's music started, the crowd went wild. She ran to the ring in her usual punk-inspired clothes, getting energy from the fans. Liv had been dreaming of this moment for years. Now, on the historic Netflix premiere, she had the potential to beat the most dominant champion in recent memory. Rhea showed her strength right away by throwing Liv around like a ragdoll. She threw clotheslines that broke bones, and each one echoed through the arena. Liv fought back by being swift on her feet, avoiding attacks and hitting back quickly. She kicked Rhea's knee out of nowhere, making the champion fall for the first time. The crowd cheered and yelled, "Let's go, Liv!" In the middle of the contest, the momentum changed a lot. Rhea almost ended it with a crushing riptide, but Liv somehow rolled through into a pinning combination, 2.5. The crowd gasped. Rhea got angrier and angrier, and she started a savage attack, smashing Liv into the steel steps and the barricades. But Liv wouldn't give up. She reached the top rope and hit a daring Oblivion on the floor, taking both women down. The referee started the count, but Liv got Rhea back in the ring just in time. She covered, 1, 2, and Rhea kicked out. There was a lot of pandemonium at the end. Rhea tried another riptide, but Liv countered with a crucifix bomb that slammed Rhea's shoulders to the mat. The people in the crowd counted along. 1, 2, 3. The bell rung. Liv Morgan had done it. As the referee gave her the Women's World Championship, she fell to her knees and cried. The structure rocked with the crowd's roar as confetti showered from the ceiling. A new champion was crowned on the first edition of Raw on Netflix, making it a landmark night in WWE history. Rhea sat in the corner and glared at Liv, silently vowing that this was far from finished. And as the Netflix cameras went black, everyone knew that this fight was only getting started.
But
for weeks, the WWE Universe had been buzzing. After the craziness that happened at SummerSlam 2024, the fight between Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan was at its peak. What began as a personal vendetta had turned into the biggest quarrel in the women's division, culminating in an epic battle at Bad Blood 2024. The night following SummerSlam was when it all started. Rhea Ripley, who still had the Women's World Championship, appeared in the ring with a microphone and said she was the most dominant force in WWE. She also made fun of anyone who tried to step forward. The crowd booed loudly, but as soon as Liv Morgan's music started, they all changed their minds. Liv went down the ramp with a smug smile on her face. The big screen showed a replay of her pinning Rhea in a tag bout that wasn't for the title weeks before. "You can say you're dominant all you want," Liv remarked, "but you know I've beaten you before, and I can do it again." Rhea laughed at her and then pushed her. Liv didn't back down, and the two got into a fight that required referees, security, and even some backstage superstars to break up. The crowd realized this wasn't just about a title anymore. This was about them. Liv became a master of mind games on Raw over the next few weeks. She would get in the way of Rhea's matches, making her lose to elite players. She would leave messages in Rhea's locker that made fun of her, like TikTok, "Champ, there is bad blood coming." Rhea, on the other hand, fought fire with fire, hiding behind Liv backstage and slamming her over a table while they were signing a deal. The competition got so bad that Raw general manager Adam Pearce said that Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan would fight for the Women's World title at Bad Blood 2024 in a last woman standing contest. The rule shocked the WWE Universe. In Week 1, Liv fought Zoe Stark in a tough match. After Liv won, Rhea stormed the ring and hit her with a riptide onto a steel chair. Officials had to help Liv, but she grinned despite the agony and mouthed, "I'll get why." Liv fought back by hitting Rhea during a promo in the ring and trapping her in the ring with a steel chain, so she could hit her with chairs without getting hit back. Things got out of hand when Rhea powerbombed Liv through the announce table during a contract signing. Liv got back up, blood running down her forehead, and laughed in Rhea's face. The arena was full of energy. Half of the crowd chanted, "Let's go, Liv," and the other half yelled, "Mommy's gonna kill you." The battle started outside the ring as soon as the bell rang. There were no boundaries on what they could use: chairs, kendo sticks, steel steps, and more. At one point, Rhea threw Liv into the barricade so hard that it almost fell down. Liv struck Rhea with a fire extinguisher, which blinded her long enough for Liv to hit her signature move, Oblivion, on the floor. When Rhea set up 2 tables outside the ring and tried to riptide Liv from the top rope through them, the match reached its peak. But Liv turned the tables on Rhea in midair, spinning around and powerbombing her through both tables. The last woman standing count started with the referee. Liv Morgan rose up straight and held the Women's World title high above her head. She cried, not just because she was in pain, but also because she knew she had finally beaten her fiercest opponent. Rhea, who was sitting on the floor outside the ring, scowled at Liv with all her might. This fight wasn't over yet. Bad Blood 2024 has just made it more deadly, if anything. Welcome to my channel, kind viewers. I am Lima, and I hope your day is going well. If you appreciate the video, please subscribe to the channel.